Josh Moon.
I think you guys are on mute.
She came
So-
up hot.
So anyway,
I mean, several people was here that night when it happened. I didn't do nothing to warrant the yelling and the way she treated me and had to be escorted out of the building. Then she stood outside the building ranting and cussing for 5 or 10 minutes. Several witnesses at the Trumbull House told me about it. What's been done about that? I mean, they make a big point out of all this harassment. What about what's protecting the citizens from the city employees and the council members?
all right. So I'm not going to get into much of a discussion. I appreciate you bringing your concern up. The complaint was filed and investigated. Anything outside of that, I can't really have privy to.
Well, when I come down to ask to speak at the council meeting, I have to talk to her. What's to keep her from saying that I threatened her? It's a shame when somebody has to turn the video camera on and videotape anytime they come down to City Hall to keep the people, the workers at City Hall from making false accusations about it.
I mean, I appreciate your.
Now, when I come down to ask to speak at the meeting, do I have to call the police officer to come stand next to me while I speak to her, or what's the deal on this? I can't just come down here and have her just be saying I did this or that.
All right, thank you.
Is that it? Can I speak about anything else?
You got 3 minutes and you're.
Okay.
What about all the other city officials?
Up.
Wait your turn.
I can't get up to my leg bad.
Any other public comments?
Mike Sherman. No, I just wanted to talk about the 7.5% increase in the water bill. Mr. Roberts was nice enough to get the information that I required, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Welcome, Mike.
Now, as far as the 7.5 increase, I understand that we need to generate some revenue, and that's one way to do it. But we have talked about transparency in the past. And it doesn't appear that anybody's interested in the transparency as far as my perspective of transparency. So, has the council ever thought that perhaps they should get a dry erase board, put in their wish list, ABC, this is what we need, this is what we want, this is what it costs. If we do a 7.5% increase on the water bill, this is how much revenue we estimate will be generated. And from that revenue, we can do boom, 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 boom. I know they can't answer me, but perhaps it would go over better with the public if they understood what you wanted to accomplish, how much revenue is generated by the increase, and how much can be done from the wish list. And other options such as at 5%, we can do this and this, at 3%, we can do this and this, some sort of discussion as opposed to, oh, we can raise it 7.5% because we can. That's it.
Any other public comment?
Oh,
Josh Baker, 902 North Third. I just wanted to come up and ask questions about police accountability and how the public is supposed to know that they're being held accountable for those actions. There's numerous, I mean, just in general, things that if the council is watching it all, that they can see that they're violating their own policies. And I don't know what the proper venue is to get all those in front of you all. I know there's an individual officer complaint that can be done. I understand that. But the council as a whole has to see a lot of these violations, and how the council doesn't take action on those, I don't understand. And if the council is taking some of those matters into account and taking action on them, then it would be beneficial if the public knew about that, because I mean, there are a lot of concerns about the harassment and different things that this department does. And not letting the citizens know that that's being taken care of is a huge issue. And so I don't know if I guess my question is ultimately, how would we go, us as the public, go about bringing those matters in a constructive manner. I can stand up here and complain about stuff all day long. But unless it's in a constructive manner, these are the policies that are violated, which I know tons of people would be more than happy to do, to put that all in writing and bring it to you all. What would be the way to do that, to address this matter and get it taken care of?
All right, appreciate that, Josh. Parks Police Committee stuff, we just got the members appointed to it and renewed, so they heard you. So hopefully we can come up with some answers for you.
And I mean, maybe, a citizen review panel or something like that wouldn't be a bad, including a member of, a member of the public in that. I think a great thing.
All right, thank you.
You said they heard them. How many people, how many of them actually listened? Because I was paying attention. It looked like there was only 3, maybe 4 actually was listening to them. A lot of us is mad about the police. Most of them don't dress like they're police, so we don't actually know that they're police. I mean, how many police cars can you wreck and then you just get a brand new one? Damn, can I be police? And just start wrecking all these cars? Can I just go over to Illinois for an hour, cruising around doing what at midnight? Can I? Can I? Who did that? What cop did that? Can I do it? Can y'all pay for the gas? Can I show up to police business doing whatever? Because if a random person does that, they're going to jail, right? If I did that, I'm going to jail. But council people can do that, and it's okay. People that work for the city, cleaning streets and stuff, mowing grass, they can do that, and it's okay. But if any one of us do it, we're going to jail. Right? You can do that, but if I do it, I'm going to jail, right?
No,
So how do we make you special?
hey,
I'm just saying,
we're already used to quorum, okay, so just address the council as a whole. Thank
I'm
you.
just saying,
And
who's
please,
special and who's not?
state your name. I'm sorry.
I'm Desiree. I just want to know who's special and who actually heard that man speak about the police and listened.
Thank you.
My bad.
Any other comments from the public?
Yeah, I have one.
I'm mad at you, kiddo.
My name's Stephanie Osborne. I have a question. How can you not live in your ward and be,
Let's keep the quiet in the audience, please, so we can hear Stephanie.
how can you not live in your ward and be a councilman? I'm waiting for somebody to answer my question.
I'm sorry, what was the question, ma'am? I didn't
How
know.
can you be
A councilman.
a councilman?
Stephanie, we all heard your question, but it's for point of order. That's not on the agenda. You can bring it up. You can bring it up later on in the agenda. Okay.
Okay, what about this water? How can you charge people extra for their water bill and you can't even drink it? You don't even let your canine dog drink it because it gives him diarrhea. What's up with that? Why should we have to pay more for water? It's not drinkable for an animal. I'll say here, it's a quiet thing. We play quiet games because we don't want to answer the citizens. If it wasn't from the citizen, there would be no city. You guys have to learn to speak to us and not roll your eyes or pick and choose what you do. You are here working for us. We're not here working for you.
Dang, mic drop.
So the public is aware, whenever we have public comments and stuff, we take notes and everything else, but an individual council person cannot directly respond and answer for you on the behalf of the city. I mean, whatever we do has to be done as a group and consensus through votes. I mean, you can meet with council people one-on-one or and such and address those things, or like I was stating later on, you can bring up other issues that's not on the agenda, and that perfectly welcome to. However, we are usually prepared as a council and a city before we take any action with paperwork and have responses and so forth. So kind of coming up on the cold spot like this, you won't get a direct answer from a council person directly.
I think a lot of us understand that, but while they getting paid a check every month, even the ones don't live in their ward, they got pencils, they got laptops, they can write these questions down and maybe think about them. And then when it comes time
Well,
to this, they can maybe fit the answers back.
so everyone knows, just for guidance, all public comments are put into the minutes. All right, so it does become a record, and we will review that, and the council people that do take notes and want to bring up an action or reach back to you. I mean, otherwise, if you're looking for specific answers, right, for certain things, you almost have to prepare something in writing in advance and set some time to be actually placed on the agenda for that discussion and debate.
Well, nobody's. even
Oh, we know,
taking
we're not gonna get one.
So, I mean, that's the proper process. So the floor is open again for the public.
I just have a question. Are you gonna close the meeting after you guys have did what we're gonna do? Before the people get to speak?
No,
Okay.
no. Okay, any other public comment?
Anybody take it?
All right, hearing none. City clerk, please take the roll call. Wait, excuse me. Any written communication? No written communication?
Oh, so we just write it to her?
You can't, people send emails and stuff and they'll be, I said people send stuff to her by email if they can't make the meeting. Is there anyone on the Zoom meeting that has any comments or discussion for the public section? All right, hearing none. City clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Sedars?
Here.
Ms. Evans?
Here.
Ms. Ardno? Here. Mr. Gilman?
Present.
Mr. Sherman?
Here.
Mr. Roberts?
Here.
Mr. Gobert?
Here.
Mr. Ringhausen?
Here. Council member Evans, you give the invitation, please.
Lord of all creation, we come today to honor you and to remind ourselves of your pivotal place in our lives. We ask for your blessings on this meeting. We ask that your wisdom would guide us as we seek to accomplish the goals on today's agenda. Thank you for the opportunity you give us to serve you and others. May our actions and our attitudes please you this day. We pray these things in your mighty name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the agenda, is there any agenda revisions needed? Approve the agenda.
Mayor, oh, sorry, I would suggest moving Bill 7174 to new business. It's actually under old business, but I believe it's the first time that it's being considered tonight.
Copy that. I got someone want to entertain a motion to move Bill 7174 to old business or new business. So moved.
Second.
Got Councilman Ringhausen made the motion and Councilwoman Ardno second. Any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Like sign. All right, motion carries. So moving that to old business. Any other items on the agenda that needs any revision? Okay. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes for March 28, 2022.
We need to do these individually.
It probably would be probably proper.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for March 28th, 2022.
I'll second it.
Got a first and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes March 31st.
Motion to approve the March 31st, 2022.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes for April 21st.
Make a motion to approve 2022.
I'll second that.
Have a first and a second. Any discussion? None. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign.
What the hell?
So
Coming on
so all, these are approving the minutes.
We'll get you there.
I was there. Okay. I thought I was on the right page.
All right, any, entertain a motion to approve the minutes for May 17th?
I think we're on April 25th, sir, 22.
Oh, sorry. Entertain a motion, to entertain April 25th minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from April 25th, 2022.
Got first and second. I mean, they're,
We're in the-
so council, member Ringhausen made the motion, Councilwoman Arno second for April 25th. Any discussion?
I did have, I had qualified my votes anyway, just saying that they were indefinite appointment. We were just affirming. That was the only amendment that I had to.
Just one.
25th.
All right, we're at on, we're at,
Appointment of officers. Couple pages here.
You had a whiteboard. Back the shit up on the wall.
which,
Under appointment of officers.
yeah, I got that, which
And
one?
then I think it started at C. That, I just put in that, I was voting essentially, like with the understanding that they're definitely.
Yeah, it's in,
I can
it's,
send that
it's,
later.
yeah, it's in ordinance that way. So is any changes to the minutes? You want to rescind your motion, or we're going to keep the motion on the floor? All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Entertain motion to approve May 17th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for May 17th of 2022.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Probably not vote for this one.
I think not on the meeting anymore. Show that Councilman Goldbear's no longer.
I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me?
So, we got a
Okay.
motion and a second, and we're taking the vote for May 23rd minutes. All those in favor say yes, and they did, or 17. 17, I'm too many minutes. All right, any abstain? Okay,
And I'd like to abstain all the ones prior to that. Please.
okay, you got that? Okay. So, we're moving on. Did we clear the last one, city clerk?
Yep.
Okay. Entertain motion for May 23rd.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for May 23rd, 2022.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
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 Second. Myself and Nick. Thank you.
Opposed, like sign. Abstain. All right, motion carries. The final minutes that we got to approve, June 13th,
Oh, they're first.
May 31st, excuse me. Thank you, Councilwoman Arno. May 31st meeting minutes.
I make the approval. I make the motion to approve the minutes of May 31st, 2022.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
yes,
Opposed, like sign. Abstain. Motion carries. And the final one, June 13th. minutes.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
yes,
Bob. Thank you.
Those opposed, like sign.
You didn't actually hear for that.
Oh, was I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
13, June
13,
June 13.
I gotta find it.
Oh, you could have.
Just slow down there just a minute. My God. I'm the oldest one here. Thank you.
See your name, see the money.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Okay, so motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the mayor's reports, announcements, and miscellaneous action items. Council, I want to introduce Mary Weston as our new city attorney or city prosecutor.
City prosecutor.
Excuse me. And so if anyone wants to ask any questions or want to put a face to the name, so she decided to come down and we're going to have Memory swear her into office.
So are we gonna have a courtroom now?
Bless you.
You wanna play it? Back in it.
Oh, it was there, right here. You wanna swear at me or we swear at you?
You just put me. Raise your hand.
I thought it was.
I state your name.
I, Mary E. Weston,
Do solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications
solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications
for the office of prosecuting attorney
for the office of prosecuting attorney
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
provisions of all laws of this state affecting
the provisions of all laws of this state affecting
cities of this class and the ordinances of the city of Louisiana, Missouri,
cities of this class and the ordinances of the city of Louisiana, Missouri,
and faithfully deem myself in office, so help me God.
and faithfully deem myself in office, so help me God.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity if you want to say anything, or council members, you got an opportunity if you have any questions.
Good luck.
Hearing none, I guess we'll move on.
Okay.
All right. So you can stay or you can go. It's however you want to do it.
Go and find some dinner.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Give her our sympathy and condolences.
Send us some flowers later.
Probably believe.
All right. As far as any other announcements or miscellaneous action items, I did attend the Restore meeting at the coffee shop, and also this coming weekend, we got several activities that's going on throughout the community. We got the Momo stuff happening Friday night. We got the chamber, the 4th of July, and we also July 2nd, we got a citywide yard sale and a flea market going on. Just try to get the word out and let everyone know that we're going to be active this weekend. So
When was the flea market?
the second.
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 1 second.
It's going to start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and citywide yard sales will be taking effect. And John Crosby with the bridge as spirit. All right. The next item on the agenda is city administrator's report.
I only have a couple things.
One is Mr. Ringhausen's brought to attention that a tree down the riverfront that, doesn't look like it was planted very well. It's properly raising and lowering the flag. And, Mr. Ringhausen has requested that tree be removed. It's gonna have to be able to get the flag up and down where it's at, so that's that. You know, another thing that I have is the rescue funds. Is received. I do not have the recommendation from the engineer yet on that, so I do not have anything further on that.
Any questions? Any questions on the flag at the riverfront? By the flagpole?
That's probably the one tree that's growing the best, right?
That's why it's kind of stuff. You'll have to take a look at it. Well, I'll text the tree commission and take a look.
You would know, you're a lawyer, you would know what tree was like.
You ever seen me hanging off the hill over there? Next time. I fall off and call the emergency.
Well, I like to entertain a motion that we go ahead and both have the tree removed. There's no way that it can stay. If it has to be trimmed, I ask Kelly if I can be in charge of that, so. I'd like to have a second on that motion to remove that tree so that the American flag, it's 25 feet long and it's 15 foot wide, and you tear them up, they come down, they get caught in the top of the trees. It's just not good on the flags, and it doesn't look good, so.
People are really missing that flag down there.
Uh,
So people are really missing that flag being up there.
So that tree should not be replaced.
not there.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to remove it.
A second. All right, we have a motion and a second. Open the floor for discussion.
Or is it from the flagpole?
It's right.
5 foot. With a 10-foot canopy, so already out over the gazebo.
This is an old.
One thing, I noticed it as well. I don't know about the other trees, but that one specifically, I know no one can walk underneath it. So there might be other trees that might need trim, but you'd think be able to walk around it or underneath it. That one definitely is in the way. Any other questions? All right, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
Bobby, thank you. I have a question for Bobby. Now, when do they expect parts to get in for that? Are they in for what? For the flagpole, the parts were brought. All of the work on the flagpole is done. All of the required equipment is in and replaced. All that Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, depending on the vote tonight, the new flag will be up Wednesday morning. So, right.
Yay.
It shows the concern of the community, because, all of us have had questions about the flag, and that shows people, they miss that flag. Of course, how can you help when you come down Georgia Street, there it is.
All right, any other questions for Kelly? Question on this is not in regards to the rescue fund, but are we have a status of any of our bids or anything for our pavement, street pavement?
So, those should go out probably in the advertisement probably next week, what they're thinking. Hopefully we'll open around the end of July, 1st of August.
All right. Next item on the agenda, police chief's report.
Police chief's report, we don't have one today, this time is unable to provide.
Okay. All right, so the next item is the ride-along program. Our city attorney looked at our ride-along program, and you'll see the language that she drafted and worked on this. And Lindy, before I turn it over to you to kind of go through this to a degree, just kind of give you a rundown on this, from my first day in office, I was asking about our ride-along program. I was wanting to look at our policies and look at, what we had on the record for documentation on how we conduct our ride-along programs, and I had some concerns. In fact, I even asked to suspend the ride-along program until we had a chance to review this. That didn't happen until some issues came to light with the ride-along program. And I expressed pretty deep concerns as far as the liability that the city may be placed in with our program. Having such a city attorney kind of agreed with the opinion that at least our ride-along program needed to be revamped as far as issues in the language with our waiver and our policy guidelines to agree. So Lindy, would you want to walk us through what you have here?
Sure. So I think that the extent of the changes really, I added a few additional rules to the program just to make clear the specific provisions that any participants would need to agree to abide by while participating in the ride-along program. We added a line where there would be permitted days and hours that the program participants would be able to attend a ride-along. I didn't fill anything in there. You'll notice that they are highlighted on the form. I think that would be a policy that's best set by the city. So I left that blank, but that's an option to fill in. We changed the age to be, it previously said persons under the age of 17, but we changed it to 18 just because obviously 17 is still juvenile. You would need to sign with a parent or guardian, and it didn't previously have that line. And I believe in the interest of liability, it would best to just be 18 or older. And then when you get to the third page, which is the waiver, I just made it clearer that, the city as a whole was protected. I think it previously just said Louisiana Police Department. And I made it clear, that the participant is aware of the risks in riding along and they acknowledge those risks. And then just restated some additional rules underneath. So that's pretty much the bulk of what we changed.
As far as the highlighted stuff, so one of the three things that I expressed concerns with as far as doing the ride-along program, if we continue to allow doing the ride-along program, if we had an individual fill out the waiver and go through and meet all the criteria and the chief authorizes the ride-along program, the three things that I would like to see, and which is kind of included here, is that we have an individual that does the ride-along program and goes through the process, but limiting the days of the week or the hours doing it. So give you an example, Friday or Saturday night, from 8 o'clock in the evening to 2 o'clock in the morning may not be a very good position to put the city in as far as liability, right? And also having someone do the ride along, let's say 5 days a week or, every week of the month, that puts us in a predicament as far as the odds. So that's one thing, individual, the hours of the ride along, and then how many occurrences throughout the year or the month. So that's one, dealing with the individual ride along, one-offs. The other two items are pretty clear and I think are very easy, is if you have a candidate that is going through a post-accredited training program needing to do ride alongs, it's kind of an open book to plug it in from the beginning of the program to the end of the program. So that's number two. And the third one is if we do have a Citizens Police Academy, it's the same situation as far as it has a start date and an end date. So, those are the thoughts that I had, and it's open to the council for questions or concerns.
I feel that there should be a maximum number for any non-training per month, like 2 times a month. Or a number for discussion. Any more time than that, riding around with the police, killing time, in my opinion. You're not gonna learn a whole lot. There's a certain amount of bonding with a partner, whether it's fireman or 2 policemen in a car. If you're in the military, a friend in your unit or whatever, and you bond with people with like that and you work like that. And I feel that it's detrimental to the police officers' responsibilities to, if something would happen, to have to be responsible for an untrained individual riding with them also. And I just feel that probably more than 2 times a month is more than enough to learn what the officers are doing and how they do it. You know, if you're a city council member or for whatever reason. That's what I think should be added to that. Does that make sense, Linda?
Is that per person? Or 2 times total?
2 times total per person.
Okay,
And that's for the one-offs outside of a training program.
right.
Correct,
This is just the one-offs.
correct.
Any other?
I agree with I like to ride along. And, I think it's good public relations to have with our police officers and get to know the community a little bit better too. And, the one thing I was gonna ask to be added, and I think that it's on here, that they be allowed once a year to, ride along with citizens. I think this is good.
Where's
Our
that?
police officers have a massive job as it is. Anyway. It says qualified applicants will be permitted to participate in the program once per year.
Okay.
That I agree with, and that to me means that they, our officers are busy.
Right.
And we don't have time for somebody to be riding along all the time, or for 3 or 4 people to be riding along. The officer's got a job, has a job to do.
Okay.
And I think that, the program is good. And I understand that it's a great PR. It could be a great public relation for the police department as well as for the city.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns?
So basically that once per year negates Bob's
We're just discussing it
2
now.
times, no, but I'm just saying, yeah, it undoes you.
So that's the question I have. So Lindy, are you following us on this?
Yeah, so I apologize. I might have misunderstood. I am intending with the highlighted portion to limit it to specific maybe days or hours of the day. Mayor, that was my intention to address that concern. I believe that the 1 year limitation was already included in the prior policy.
Okay, so is it the intent of the policy, the way you review it, that an applicant is only allowed to ride 1 time per year?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, of course, I mean, I guess it could be the policy of the city to expand that or limit it further, but
So, and I'll entertain a motion to this if you agree and we can have discussion about it. For that, next to the last line item on the front, page, qualified applicant to be permitted. Modify that, will be permitted to participate in the program twice per year. Plus part of an accredited post-certified training program or part of a city-sponsored police academy program.
Yes, I read, yeah.
Okay, so we got a first. Well, let's not, let's, because.
No,
we-
I'm agreeing. with
Okay,
that statement.
so I'm gonna write that down, so.
I mean, a lot of people could be qualified. If they're not training or anything. So you have to show in training or.
Citizen. So what about the second bullet point or check mark? As far as, I think, for the one-offs, I mean, the post-training and the Citizens Academy. I don't know if we want to break it down anymore, but do we have, any input? Is there any input for limiting the hours or days of the week? Because it wouldn't mean days of the week, you're only doing 2 occurrences per applicant per year. That's not part of the training program. So it would apply to them, but I don't know if the same should apply for post-training, right along hours. Or
I would think that those that are riding along for training or post-training, it would be more at the discretion of the current chief, because there's certainly perhaps aspects of the job that would be more beneficial to that person in training. I think that would be best left up to the chief, if you're not just talking about an average member of the citizenry participating in the ride along. I think limiting their participation to certain hours would be fine.
And
Yeah, we-
Mayor, if I may, sorry, it was my interpretation of this policy that the ride along program is specifically for citizens. I believe that a training program or a post-accredited program should be subject to a different policy altogether.
That makes sense.
that makes sense too. So we can knock this out right now. So this applies to individuals in the Citizens Police Academy. Right?
Louisiana Police Department Citizen Right Along Program, would that solve the whole problem?
Yes, that will.
First line.
Yeah, the first line, that will address that.
Citizen Right Along.
The only difference would be,
Says anyone.
okay. Do we want to table this?
Well, I thank you, Dr. Chief, here to final touches to it. I mean, he's the one probably gonna have to review some of his paperwork and say yay or nay, so I'd like to table it till
Right now.
some meeting and make sure that he's here.
Hey, Lindy, did we forward this to the chief in our email chains?
Oh, we have a citizens chief here.
That is a good question. Let me,
Say there.
Oh, we got the chiefs here. Did you get a copy of that?
Did not.
he may not. So I think that might be a good idea to give him a chance to look at it.
Lindy,
Why is it easy to look at it?
Rodney, we say something?
yeah, one little note of typographic. It looks like you've got the question about being arrested in there twice. So I assume under place of employment, have you ever been arrested? And then it comes up again. So just need to eliminate one of those references.
Eliminate the first one.
Just double check.
I'll entertain a motion to table until next month. Unless chief has some time to look at it.
If he's comfortable with what he sees in our discussion, fill him in with where we're at so far.
I was in here.
You here?
I
Okay.
just did the citizen, not personal. And we can limit, we can.
The only thing that I would add is communicate in here post-training. That would be for certified academies that are post-training, like we discussed earlier, Mayor. You also have Pike Lincoln Tech that is not a post-training program. It's the vocational program that is not law enforcement necessarily related. It's for an exploratory. Go into it. I don't really think that would fall into one of your categories.
Yeah, I think the council agreed that the post-training and stuff shouldn't even apply to this.
Right, but
And we'll have a
PLTC
separate
would be
one.
for post-training is my point.
Okay,
Post-training is for people that are already certified as officers, that are police officers or in the process of being police officers. What Pike Lincoln Tech does is they sponsor a program as an exploratory where basically students that are interested in going into law enforcement, so they are basically citizens, but it's sort of a catch in between of the two. So you're right along with like Pike Lincoln Tech would not be included in either category.
Would you want to give them more time or would you just want to leave them? In?
Well, I mean, they have requirements for how many ride-along hours that they need from their instructors. and
Okay, so they need-
programs. And it is part of their curriculum-based program that they have at that vocational class itself. Now, obviously, we're not the only agency that can assist in that. There are other agencies, but you know, if the good thing for Louisiana is if some of our citizens that are going there, it's the possibility that we can capture somebody that already knows the area, hometown person, and use them as like a training ground or use them as a field to pick from where we might get our people from.
They all be 18.
Not necessarily. Obviously, I mean, traditionally 18-year-olds are graduates, seniors, but they're able to learn at different times.
We'd have to list it on the.
Yeah, it would be something that really would not catch in between the two. We would still require it to have parental approval. That would be number one, and plus they would have to have their instructor.
Their guidelines.
Yeah, yes.
Add that on.
Training would be
On the job.
So-
training.
Right.
Right, but it's.
well, so this as strictly citizens, not part of any program.
Right.
We can actually, I mean, even the police academy or the citizens academy, we can address that. But I mean, I'm all in favor of tabling this because there's gonna be some.
There's probably 4 different type situations.
I like it, if you, the chief and you, or you and the chief, get together and work out some words that, I forgot. Pike Lincoln.
Yes.
They, if they're in training for something like that, it's on the job training. What it is, so,
So we'll push it back to committee and I'll be involved and chief be involved with the committee, the police committee and go over that. Do we need a motion to table this or it's good as it stands?
I'll make a motion then to.
Consideration committee.
Back up next week.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Thank you, Ready?
Who was first and second?
Got,
I made it. Bob second.
all right, we don't have a police department report. Do we have a canine or the court report for
Court
tonight?
report was given at the beginning of the month, to
Okay,
all council members.
so we'll get that next month then. At
It
the
was already
beginning.
given to you like the beginning of the month.
I know, I'm talking about next month. We'll get another one at the beginning of the month, yeah.
You want to say no?
Fire chief's report,
Haven't received anything.
all right, no report. Go through our committee reports. Infrastructure, ground, street, sidewalks.
As far as, not only what's going on Third Street, but I know that Nancy was talking to Rodney about the memorial.
Neighbors down at the riverfront, we just like the council's blessing to expand that program. I think we figured out our best bet is just to keep going
out from where they are, maybe section by section. Up the front as opposed to trying to do something along or something just for LHTA to be able to continue with that paper project. Seems to be a big interest in town and so.
Entertain a motion to allow LHPA to continue the rural paper program. So moved.
Second.
First and second, Council Member Giltner made the motion and Council Member Ardeno seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
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 Opposed, like sign, motion carries.
Thank you, Nancy.
Anything else on the committee?
Not at this time.
All right, Public Safety and Police Hiring Committee.
I'm not for sure where we're at on, where she's at.
Keep that one out.
You need him? Hey, chief.
Yes.
Sorry.
Can you give us the count today on the police officers and who's coming and?
Predominantly, right now, we're down 3 police officer positions that are vacated at the present time. We have 2 that we're going to recommend approval for the city council tonight. One of them officers is a part-time officer. The other officer we have present here, the council would like to ask any questions.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ordinance Committee.
Nothing new. We just got some old business to do later.
All right. Economic Development and Tourism Committee.
Just the upcoming events that we've already announced.
Good. One thing I might want to add, and just on a side note, I think we're, a work group is trying to get together for Wednesday to go down on the riverfront to help clean up the riverfront. So we'll be pushing it out and try and get the public awareness and see if we get some volunteers to go down there. Well, I'm gonna be part of it, but I'm gonna see who all I can lasso into it, right? So we kind of did the same thing when we did Georgia Street for Bluegrass, so it's gonna be kind of the same thing. Get down there and try to
I
clean
believe
up.
they said that they'll be down there. Stephen Hall, who sits off our fire relief, he said he'll be down on Thursday to dig a hole out there. And the dirt, so we can do our border shells.
Okay. So, so anyway, so be looking for more information. I'll send you all an email about that for Wednesday. If anyone wants to get out and, you know, get a sweat going, we'll get it cleaned up for the weekend.
So let's count on the council people, huh?
So anyway, Housing, Health, Senior Services, Disadvantage Committee. Nothing new?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Community and Employee Relations Committee. I have nothing to bring forth on that this month. Tree Commission.
It does look like our one tree got damaged. I don't know if somebody stepped on it or what, but it's damaged at the bottom. So we're gonna get in touch with somebody who maybe can give us some advice on fixing that, or else we might just have to replace it. Well, just
I
put
was
it
fine
in,
with
so-
it.
Yeah, great.
I will trim.
Because I don't know if people are looking. Right? Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. If you got any ideas, we'd like to try to keep it alive.
All right, anyone from the, on, update on the historic preservation? Nope.
We need to have a meeting, don't we?
We're just waiting on the paperwork to come in for some signage, so we can get a meeting going.
Okay. All righty. Move on to old business. We got the first item is ratification of public statement. Mr. Peugeot.
Make the motion to ratify the public statement.
Got a first and a second to ratify the public statement. There was a statement made public in the back. Hand out.
I believe.
Yeah, there's
we
a stack
printed
back
out-
here.
Yeah, we printed out some of them. I didn't want to print out a huge number yet, because we haven't actually ratified it.
Right.
It's possible there would be some changes here, but we do have some of them, so. Hopefully the change won't be dramatic, you know, so. Until it actually reflects what we got here.
was my second.
Tiffany,
Thank you.
So Lindy, was you able to see my response? And review that?
We sent you a response, yes. Our review is pretty limited to this, just since it's kind of, it puts us in a little bit of a pickle in terms of being in the middle, but I can send you, just so as not to, I can't necessarily release my advice to the public that I sent you, but if you are able to see the statement, I can let you know that we sent it.
I'm not, except for the question I had, Lindy, is just a simple yes or no, as far as if I release this.
Well, I can say, I don't know that we had a sufficient amount of time to review the specific legal questions that you had in your statement, so we did recommend that certain items you might not want to release until we've had a better chance to fully review that.
All right, any other discussion with public statement? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
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 I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna do a roll call on this. City clerk?
Mr. Sutterles?
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Cardinal? Yes. Mr. Gilmer?
Yeah.
Mr. Michelle?
yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Gobert?
Yes.
Mr. Ringhausen?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is ordinance amending chapter 200, chief of police. Everyone got a copy of my, yeah.
I mean, we're getting a new police.
Yes. All right, so. Make a motion. Shall the bill pass, the objective of the mayor thereto notwithstanding? Making a motion essentially to vote on this again, and the ordinance requires specific language, shall the bill pass, the objections of the mayor thereto notwithstanding. So we've got his objections, and I'm opening it up so we can discuss it.
Objection for what?
So we need a second then,
Second.
and anybody wants to discuss it.
We want to discuss it.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second to override the mayor's veto. Any discussion?
So. which is this? Okay.
You're. That should be on the single sheet.
So the bill number is 7163 in your packet. And my objection pertained to section 200.70. Since we did first and second readings and so forth, I kind of look at the final review before I would sign off on this. And I have, if we're going to amend the ordinance and codify it and put it into our city ordinances and become permanent record, we need to, my concern is under section A, the deputy chief of police and all other members of the police department shall be subject to the orders of their superiors in the police department, comma, mayor, comma, and if directed, the city administrator. So my concerns, I believe, correct me, council and Kelly, I believe Mayor Brown made that modification to include and if directed, the city administrator. So that's what I'm asking, if we're going to change this ordinance, go ahead and I recommend that be removed.
Yeah.
So that's my reasoning. Any other questions or discussion?
I think that since that language has been in there, I would suggest we continue with it.
Yeah.
Consider that question. I suppose the direction would come from the city council, or would it come from chief of police?
I was thinking it'd be you, and chief, is what that's how I read it.
Yeah.
What's supposed to be.
There's another provision somewhere on delegation, right, that like if there's an emergency, the chief of police can delegate special
So
officers.
it's the mayor on that one. That's for like a natural disaster of some sort.
Right, I believe that was why it was put in the other section as well. Like delegation.
So,
Seems almost equivalent.
so it's a catch 22. We can go back and look at the ordinance and keep your language that you have in here and look at adding or removing language. Or like, Nick, you said, you can pass it tonight and go back and do the same thing. So either way, we're gonna be doubling back on this.
Would you be willing to rescind the veto and then consider it as a separate
No.
separate ordinance coming up? Because you're not objecting to the changes that we
So
previously.
So, I mean, I would be open to that, the reason I vetoed it, because I wanted to try to do it in one fell swoop, because I don't want to codify. And I may be wrong, Kelly, in memory, when we make changes by ordinance and we submit it, does it cost us to update our ordinances?
Yeah.
So,
It's a one time a year thing.
but we update it every time we do an ordinance, right? No, just once a year? Okay,
They sit there for a while, the E-code is
It's,
like.
it's on new laws on E-code and
okay.
it updates
So it
quarterly.
doesn't cost us anything to put it on E-code.
They just do it quarterly.
And there's no quarterly charge, right?
How much is it?
Or everything like done in quarter.
Is this a single charge then? Okay, I mean, that's the only concern. I don't have no objections with drawing. But, yeah, but,
And then just help me remember to get on the ordinance list.
Is
Well,
there only one charge? When
For
they do, when they do it yearly?
Yeah.
Or do you get charged if you amend them after it's been done?
You get charged every quarter for whatever you do. Whatever ordinance you do, you get charged every quarter.
Whether you do any or not?
Well, if you do nothing, no, they ain't gonna charge you to recodify the ordinance. It's wherever you send in, like wherever you all vote on every month. I send it to E-code, it sends in new laws, and then when that quarter is up, that's when they codify it and they send out the new lovely packets that I have to put in the ordinance books. Yeah.
well, I tell you what, we got a motion and a second on the floor for an override. I'd say just carry the vote however you want to. And, if there's any other discussion,
Wait, do they charge us individually?
Is it?
Per ordinance?
No.
You get charged, they get charged every quarter.
Okay, so it's either 0 or a flat fee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how much you get charged.
That's okay, as long as we know that it's either 0 or a flat fee.
But how do we know?
call the question on this. All those in favor to override the mayor's veto, say yay.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got
Do a
it.
roll call.
I don't want to charge you for this. City clerk, please take the roll, please.
North?
Yeah.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Ardeno?
Yes.
Mr. Giltner?
Yeah.
Mr. Pajot?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Goldberg? Fell asleep.
Did you call my name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Ringhouse?
Yes.
All right. ordinance is approved and vetoes override. It is now duly adopted and approved.
So what's that mean?
Kelly can tell the police.
All right, so next item,
No,
Seriously?
no.
next item on the agenda is.
Yeah,
Bill
hey.
se- Oh. Is bill number 7164, an ordinance to amend section 110.110 title of the government code of the code of ordinance pertaining to standing committees. So I don't know if all the council members has my letter of veto on this one.
I'm looking here.
I just gave them to you guys again.
I got an extra one over here.
Not far away.
I got it. You find yours?
Oh, I can find.
I'm not good at this.
We loaded you up tonight.
Don't worry, I'll.
You want an extra one? I got one.
They
here.
look like.
So if it pleases the council, I'm gonna go ahead and state my veto objection. And then the council can take whatever action they want. So the proposed bill 7164, section 1 under item B is should the mayor and council fail to approve new standing committee for any reason after the council members assume office under 110.015, the standing committees as then constituted shall continue in existence and retain the authority to meet and make recommendations to full council as provided by city ordinance. Resolutions or rules then existing until the successor standing committees shall be approved by the council. Should any of the previously seated council members not retain their seats, then the mayor shall have the authority to appoint the new council members to the standing committee vacancies in their sole discretion. So my concern on this, and I'm just going to read it, you can read it too. My concern is that this addresses standing committees, not the actual appointments of council members sitting on those committees, even though I'm ad-libbing here now, it may be inferred, but, or assumed. The language isn't 100% conducive to inferring to council members sitting on standing committees. Also, the last sentence states the mayor can appoint new council members at their sole discretion. I take this as with or without council consent. So a mayor or a mayor pro tem, if the mayor's absent and or not in the seat anymore, they don't have to put forth any standing committees if they don't want to, and just put the new members wherever they want, regardless. Now, I think the standing committees should be reappointed annually, and the council either approves or objects the appointments. And that's why I objected to this ordinance.
Okay.
Well, I think that if we add with council approval, that doesn't make it any different than the original. Then it doesn't matter what happens. Prior to the approval, you know, you know. No standing committees, it's all I have, nor to be half standing committees. I mean, they have changes.
Y'all speaking and Mike's, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I'll speak a little louder. Bring the mic.
Wait, no. They-
I would say first, your interpretation is right, that the way I meant to write it was that mayor wouldn't need any approval from council to fill the vacancy. That was correct.
So my concern on that, don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to appoint. But if I was slick, I would never change the standing committees, or, you know, what I mean, I would never change it. I can just appoint whoever I want if there's new members.
Basically, every year when we, after the committees are all set up, don't we vote on accepting that entire thing? So I mean, you do the appointing, but the council does the consent in the end. I mean, it's
So-
kind of a combination of.
So there's two things, right? So standing committees under current ordinance are created annually. And it's been, historically, it's been the same. Now, we kind of did away with the hiring committee in years past,
Right.
but I reinstated, right? And the council approved it. So if I was a new mayor and I didn't want to change anything, then under this ordinance that's proposed, whoever comes on to the city council seat, I can put them anywhere that I want to without council approval. If I don't, but see, normal progression is that the standing committees are remade annually or stay in place. They can either stay in place or be remade. If we find out that we got too many things lumped into one committee, or we need to break something out, we can do that annually. But that's usually led by the mayor doing that with council consent.
As far as your appointing goes, when I read this, what it says is the authority to appoint new council members to standing committee vacancies. So not just any, you can't just put somebody over the ordinances. It has to be an open committee seat.
Yes.
Right.
But let's say, for example, this coming election, there's gonna be there's always potentially 4 seats open.
Mhm.
So if it's a 1-to-1, so I can just put that one person in that one vacancy.
Right.
Now, there's 4 seats open, and now there's gonna be, if there's 4 seats open, and with new council members, that means there's 8 committees right now roughly, that I can put any one of those 4 wherever I want to, as long as I don't change the standing committee structure.
The ones that are still in.
Right.
So it would just be the vacancies of whoever left that didn't retain office.
So that'd be 8 seats on the standing committee that I put the potentially 4 new council people in. And I could do that without consent of the council.
I think though that's kind of addressed in part A. First meeting of the city council, the election of each year, it shall be the duty of the mayor. For the ones that are standing.
Yes.
So I think it's sort of already in there
It
as. a
says
duty.
it's the same thing.
That if, I would suppose if any mayor refuses to perform that duty, then the council might have power. All right, well, you won't do it, you know, it's been so many months. We're gonna propose our own or something.
So, and that kind of reiterates my point on my objection and veto of it, because the language isn't really clear. That's the reason why I vetoed it.
I mean, I agree that paragraph A kind of spells out the way that we've discussed it going, committees being formed. Paragraph B does pretty much indicate that that last sentence seems to be kind of in conflict with I think, what was the intent when it was written, specifically the last sentence of paragraph B.
I would say that applies as a stopgap only when we don't have the committees. That was the intention there, to just allow that if there's some problem in the appointment, that there's not an agreement at that first meeting, then this is just meant to spell out what happens.
Right.
Allow council to continue.
So the way I read it, let's say that there's a new council and either a sitting mayor or a new mayor, and the first meeting, the mayor and council don't see eye to eye on all the committees. It looks to me like then this ultimately gives the sitting mayor the option to fill it with whomever he wants. That's what it looks like paragraph B does.
Yes, but only until the permanent placements are approved.
But it doesn't mention,
Yeah, I don't read that. Council, we're nitpicking here.
So,
And, you know, this is an innocuous, thing to go through. The mayor, one of his first duties when he comes into office is to appoint the committees. That was mine. I understand that. And if there's any changes during it, then the council comes forth on the approval during the meeting. What the hell we doing here with all this?
Good question.
Oh, man.
You know, let's, yeah.
Mary, I'll call the question. If not, die lack of a motion and go on to the next item on the agenda.
What was
I'll make a motion.
the issue to,
Wait, hold on, we had a first and second? We didn't on this one. Okay, so
I think we actually just went straight to discussion here.
well, I did that because I wanted to have,
Yeah,
so.
I don't mind.
So we're gonna pull, this one's, all right, next item on the.
we need the ordinance stands.
So the veto stands.
I'm ready to make the motion.
Okay,
There you go.
I'll make a motion I'll make a
Has to be
motion
read a certain way.
that we, go with the veto.
71.
Your
I
veto.
agree with the veto.
Yeah, I agree with the veto. You know, this should have been done in April when you selected the committees. And the only thing is, we've had people that have resigned for one reason or another. And I sure in the hell didn't object when I came in. I got put on 3 committees and I didn't have a say so. But that's fine. That's the way, that's the way it goes. I'm the new kid on the block.
Well, that only happens under this ordinance.
So you'd be going with the original ordinance, not the veto.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, so-
original ordinance, not the.
You can only be appointed to those committees if we pass this ordinance.
Hold on here. Okay, Councilman, Giltner, you had the floor. Who wants the floor?
I will take it. So the veto changes that. If we go with the veto, then it comes back to council every time. If we continue with the ordinance as it was originally written and passed, then it gives the mayor the position and the authority to appoint you, just like we did this time around, and to just move forward as the new person comes in.
That's the
So
way
you
it should
stick with
be.
your original.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If that's the way you're wanting it, that's what the original ordinance stated.
So,
I think the mayor should have the authority to appoint the committees.
Right.
So then that's.
So then they will
And-
have to read it a certain way because it is a veto. It has to be read a certain way.
so to be crystal clear on this, because a lot of the talking, it gets confused anyway. Right now, currently, annually, the mayor makes appointments to the standing committees, whether or not, the new mayor or not, every year. Right, that doesn't change. And a vacancy occurs, usually there's nothing written that says that usually the vacancy is filled by whoever's filling the vacancy, as far as on the standing committee. That's normal. Nothing's changed. What this changes, basically, is if the council disagrees with the standing committee or the appointments at the time the new mayor or each year makes new appointments, that whichever committee members that were already in the standing committee will remain in their standing committee, and that any vacancies, the mayor can appoint without council consent. So, am I misstating it?
No.
Okay. So the problem I have with that is every 4 years or whenever there's a potential for a new mayor, he may not even change the standing committee, but it's got to be approved by the council every year. So if the mayor takes no action and just automatically appoints the council members to the vacancy without consent. So like I said, I just thought the language wasn't clear in that respect, because it's not going to be us next time, maybe reviewing this and wondering what the heck does this mean? It's going to be on down the road when people are going to be looking at this and what does this mean? And to me, if it's not clear 100% for me, I have an issue with it. Thus, that's why I vetoed it.
So then I will make a motion, shall the bill pass, the objections of the mayor thereto notwithstanding?
That again, Nick?
Do what? I agree, do it again.
Yeah. I'll make a motion, shall the bill pass, the objections of the mayor thereto notwithstanding?
Still second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Take a roll vote.
Oh, sorry.
Silver,
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Ardno?
Yes.
Ms. Giltner? He's speaking.
Abstain.
Mr. Peugeot,
Yes.
Robert,
Yes.
Mr. Dober,
Yes.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Yes.
All right, bill number 7164 is duly approved and adopted and ordained.
Seventy-one, 60. We got them all in the regular.
All right, so got bill number 7166. Do you want to have discussion like we did before, or do you want to wait till there's a first and second?
Yeah, I'll make the motion, shall the bill pass, the objections of the mayor thereto notwithstanding?
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? All right, so I have this letter of my objection, or my veto for 7166. And on this one, I do believe, in my opinion, it's in conflict with the Missouri Revised State Statutes 77.250. So I'm going to read the letter per authority under RSMO 77.270, ordinance section 110-280, and authority vested in me as mayor. I'm vetoing this bill 7166. Ordinance to amend section 115.250 of the Title I Government Code of the Code of Ordinance, City of Louisiana, Missouri, relating to duties of the city administrator. So the Missouri statute 77.042, city administrator employment authorized. The governing body of any city of the third class, except those organized under the provisions of section 78.430, 78.640, and any fourth class city may by ordinance provide for employment by the governing body with the approval of the mayor of a city administrator, who shall be the chief administrative assistant to the mayor, and who shall have general superintending control of the administration and management of the government business officers and employees of the city, subject to the direction and supervision of the mayor. That's state statutes. Also 77.250, mayor to be president of council, vote The mayor shall be president of the council and shall preside over the same, but shall not vote except in case of a tie in said council when he shall cast the deciding vote. But provided, however, that he shall have no such power to vote in cases when he is an interested party. He shall have the superintending control of all the officers and affairs of the city, and shall take care that the ordinance of the city and the state laws relating to such city are complied with. Proposed Bill 7166. So under Section A, Administrative Office retaining day-to-day control of city operations. This addition is not defining as to its reasoning. Retaining what as the chief administrative assistant to the mayor. As being elected as the chief administrative officer, mayor has oversight of all city operations. Though the city administrator runs the day-to-day operations and subject to the supervision of the mayor and legislation of the council.
Yeah, that's.
Section B, superintending control. This whole proposed addition, along with its heading, is contradictory to RSMO 77.250. We currently have language within our personnel manual and within the current contract with the city administrator that gives details of his duties. Any additional detail item or items that need to be clarified should be within these documents versus being codified and potentially in conflict with Missouri statutes. H, facilitation of city policy. Through the normal hierarchy of city administration, the mayor is the chief administrative officer. The city administrator is the chief administrative officer's assistant. Then the various appointed officers of the city, collector, treasurer, city attorney, then department heads, then employees. This is the normal flow of administration. The proposed language, dual aims of facilitating the supervision of the mayor and maintaining an orderly chain of command for clear and effective implementation of city policy, is an attempt to explain the language above it, in which states the city administrator shall be responsible for bringing relevant information on administration of the city up to the mayor and for communicating the suggestions of the mayor down to the relevant department heads. What is relevant information? What are suggestions? Who determines what is either? The perceived attempt in this language is to forgo the administrative authority of the mayor per RSMO 77.250. I would like to believe that we are all on the same team and follow the normal process on flow of information and concerns. What led for the council to bring this ordinance to the floor is beyond me. However, the appearance of it gives rise to concern.
Hey, before y'all start vetoing everything, can't stop talking. We can't, some of us can't hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lindy?
I do have one, excuse me, sorry, Councilman Dolbear. I have one more page. As an alternative for Bill 7166, I would like for the council to openly discuss any issues and bring to floor ideas to quench the concerns. Any modifications that need to be documented can be done through personnel policy, contract, or resolution. Open for any questions or discussion. I'm sorry, Councilman Dolbear, go ahead.
Lindy, of course, this has been ongoing a little while. Have you reviewed this with respect to its conflict or lack thereof with the Missouri statutes? Or even conflicting with our own, I guess, any of the concerns that the mayor brought up? Have you reviewed this with relationship to those concerns?
Yes. without getting too much into the specifics of the advice, I do think it's important to note that the addition of those sections of the city administrator statute, those were enacted much later than the remaining sections of chapter 77. So when you think about statutory authority for statutory cities like Louisiana, it's a third-class city, it's bound by chapter 77. You have to think about the authority that existed basically throughout the legislative history of chapter 77. So it's important to note that not all third-class cities are required to have a city administrator. And so in the event that there is not a city administrator, you would need certain provisions regarding authority. However, the statutes allow cities to employ and appoint a city administrator and therefore delegate certain duties to that position.
Wendy,
Yes,
so in 77.042 deals directly with the city administrator statute.
yes,
And it clearly says, and I underlined it for everyone to read, the city administrator who shall be the chief administrative assistant to the mayor, who shall have general superintending control of the administration and management of the government business, officers and employees of the city, subject to the direction of the supervision of the mayor. So that is right. And you're talking about the later or the older statute, 77.250, is that right? As that being the older of the two?
yes, but
But it's not, so even that is not conflicting with 77.042, because it says that the mayor shall have the superintending control of all the officers and affairs of the city and shall take care of the ordinances of the city and the state laws relating to such. So that's not in conflict with each other as far as the statutes. The conflict I'm talking about is with our proposed ordinance with the statutes.
right, but right now you guys have already delegated various authority to Kelly by way of the city's personnel manual and by way of city code. So in terms of
My point exactly. We do that through resolution. We do that through personnel manuals and such, not by ordinance.
no, but you've already done that by ordinance because there's sections that are already codified. So I don't believe that this amendment is necessarily in conflict with what is already existing in city code.
Well, what's in codification right now is verbatim, basically from the state statutes.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
So it's not something that we came up with. We just mimic state statutes in our ordinance. What we're doing right now is creating something totally new. That's why I believe it's in conflict with statutes.
Well, but this entire section 115-250 already exists in your code, is what I'm saying. The only portions that are changing are what's underlined.
And what I'm saying is everything that existed is darn near verbatim with state statutes. What we're adding isn't.
I can address that. I think you read pretty much the entirety of both of those sections of the statute. So all it says, 250, you shall have the superintendent control the officers' affairs of the city. So that's referring to the mayor. And I do think that 77.42, when it came later, did modify that somewhat, that if you authorize a city administrator, then the city administrator has general superintending. And then it's subject to direction. And so the point of this ordinance was essentially spelling out some of those things. And I believe at the very first, the April ordinance meeting and council meeting, we discussed some of the particular incidents that gave rise to some of the concerns. And then where you had said, you know, who defines these kind of things? Essentially, the answer is council is dispute. So that was what we were trying to do. So we didn't change the effective language, right, of superintendent control. Pulled that right from the statute.
So the statute says general superintending control. And under the mayor, it says the mayor shall have the superintending control of all the officers and affairs of the city. And what you just stated, as far as if there's any conflicts, is part of my solution. This is how we handle that. Let's follow the normal procedure. If there's an issue and a conflict with what's in our city ordinance or with what's within our personnel manual, let's address it by resolution, by updating the personnel manual at the legislative level, not rewrite our law.
I think if you want to clarify an ordinance, it makes sense. Do it by ordinance, right?
Well, if anyone's in, and I'm not a lawyer, so, but when you're talking about contracting stuff and you spell everything out verbatim, you're really putting yourself in a potential conflict. And that's where I think we're at on this. I think this is conflict with what the statutes say. It's my opinion. That's why I did the veto. So it's the council's pleasure. I would think that if there's issues arising, whether or not their office upstairs to the 3rd floor or not, or whether someone is allowed to do a ride-along program or not, if there's issues of anything of that magnitude, and then there's conflict, be brought to this or to be addressed, and then changed by resolution or changed by personnel manual, or just by memorandum, on the council's wish. To clarify the city ordinances, I mean, it's kind of like, all you want to do is do a room addition to a house. But to me, this is almost like kind of rebuilding the whole house a little bit, for an analogy.
Well, I mean, it's, as far as what it says with the general superintendent control, I agree with Lindy. With him having the general superintendent control, that means that he retains day-to-day control of city operations, subject to you. So it's not contradictory. You're busy doing other things, your job. That's why we paid the city administrator to observe everything, to keep the employees in line. He's their direct boss. I mean, this is what he does. So I don't feel that we're necessarily conflicting anything as far as the statutes. I mean, the statute says it all right there. It does give him the general superintendent control. And Lindy, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I read this, the subject to the direction and supervision of the mayor, that would mean that in this state statute, it says that if the mayor says it should be done a certain way, but Kelly, from his experience, feels it should be done another way, that within the statute, that Kelly reserves the right to to delegate the proper decision. And if the mayor doesn't like his decision, then that's when it comes to us as a council. Is that correct?
I think that would be a reasonable interpretation. Yeah, I think it's important to consider the entirety of 77. So the statute. Sorry, did somebody have a question?
No, I was just trying to keep things going.
So I would
Okay.
need a mayor?
Exactly.
That was the question.
So, hey, please no outburst during the meeting, please. So.
Sorry.
Still would have to answer to-
But
Councilman
so,
Carter,
sorry, I wasn't finished. There's another section where 77046 allows the city to provide that other officers and employees, except elected officials, shall be appointed and discharged by the city administrator, and it allows the governing body to make rules and regulations governing the same, which is what I was alluding to when I said that you guys have already codified certain duties and delegated those to the city administrator via ordinance through your personnel manual through this process and authority in the statutes.
so one of the things that, and before I speak again, Councilman Ringhausen, do you have something?
I was, years back when, if I'm correct, when the city went with an administrator, it's because we were in a growth era. And the mayor normally wasn't qualified to run the entire city. That's why the administrators has to have educational background and experience to make a lot of the decisions and to run the city. Mayor would come in, Don came in probably 3 times a day, but most mayors would come in, you know, 1 day a week or whenever. I came in every day.
Yes, you did.
But that doesn't mean you were qualified to run the entire city. You were the general
No, but I
manager.
knew what was going on.
Well, that's good. I'm happy, but
You need to get off.
the reason that we brought in an administrator is like a general contractor on a job. He's got to know everything, a little bit of everything about everybody. And right now, you're not qualified to run everything, got it? You know,
Based off what?
my opinions.
Yeah, good.
Well, I'm just asking, I mean, that's your
I just
opinion.
told you,
That's it.
that's it.
He's just
Mr. Kelly is qualified, and that's why he's super, you know, the city administrator.
And why have a mayor?
Oh, I could be qualified for that.
You're working, or while you may be gone,
Come on, hey,
while you're at work, gone. And they might not be able to get you, and it could cost the city quite a bit of money if a decision's gotta be made and you're not
Well,
around to.
so
answer it.
there's, if I may, pardon myself for interrupting that. I'm not trying to run the city day-to-day operations. It's already in ordinance that the city administrator runs the day-to-day stuff. My concern with the conflict is section D that we added and section or H that we added. So the first thing on section D, it says superintendent control, not general superintendent control. So that's in conflict right there in direct language with RSMO. And the next thing, another for determining the most efficient use of city resources. I agree. He should. He's the city administrator. He should run the day-to-day operations. But let's get down, including office space, personnel development, equipment and assignment, computing and data storage resources and other majority of that stuff. And everyone knows what kind of led and spurred this to be drafted. And I believe it to be so. Now, if the city administrator wanted to move his office to the 3rd floor and I disagree with it, the concern should be brought here, but we worked it out mutually and said, we're gonna give it some time to see how things work. But all of a sudden I see it in ordinance form. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Why is it? All right. Well, I know the intent may be from the council members that we want to clarify, so, we're not crossing lines. Not everyone's gonna agree. And there's a recourse to deal with the disagreements. Not necessarily, well, let's draft a new law and update it and amend it. Let's bring it to council and say, hey, what's going on? Let's talk, let's communicate. What's happening, what's going on? All I'm saying is this is kind of a slippery slope from my perspective. And I would rather us work out our issues instead of overriding each other. We need to work together. I don't want to override shotgun on you all, and I necessarily don't want the council to override shotgun on me. Can we do it in certain circumstances? Yeah, we're obligated on some things. But I'd rather us all work together. That's why I put it out there. And H, facilitation of the city policy. I mean, I think every member and every city employee should facilitate city policy. We should be working together, should be doing this. But this is all of a sudden kind of laying it out, how, the course of information, how it should flow. It's almost like I said in my letter, it's kind of giving an explanation why we're doing the other, the whole thing. I don't know. I'll call the question on myself. I'll let the floor go back to the council.
I would note that there are 17, currently 17 paragraphs, only 2. And we only meant those 2 to explain a couple of points. Each paragraph is dedicated to 1 point to clarify. And things I think we agree are mostly uncontroversial. About the way that information flows and about the response.
Because I mean, ultimately, you need to be, just like Don said, you need to know what's going on. You need to know what's happening. Everything has to be brought to your attention, but in the same, via the statute, when I read it, if you tell this employee to go change this culvert because it's in the worst shape, and Kelly says, no, we need to do this one because it's in the worst shape. Ultimately, via this state statute, he reserves the right to just have a difference of opinion with. That's all it is.
He's always had that right.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, nothing's changing to the, everybody thought that people were taking power from you or that, that's not what any of it was. It's just to clarify, that's all it is.
There's no change.
There's no definite changes, this is duties, we're not even in the powers section. Everything is just to clarify, that's all I'm saying. And it was. I was just gonna say, it was in direct relation to the way you came in first. You know that, we all know that.
So that's my whole point. Not even having a meeting, a council meeting or meeting with majority of you one-on-one at all. The first thing I'm running into, a change in the ordinance on city administrator duty. When you proposed the ordinance committee meeting, this is that was the first time I saw anything. That's after that first week. So you heard one side of the story on that first week, but you never heard the other side of what happened. Went through. So all I'm saying is we can't solve all of our problems by drafting ordinance. We need to talk and communicate and work our issues out. And with that being said, if the council doesn't agree, I think this will be a point of order to take a 5-minute recess. Anyone disagree?
Point to vote.
Yep.
What?
We stand in recess 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's nice.
I mean, everybody.
I might even have a piece of gum that called 2 hours.
She lined up.
We need. Should. $33,000.
That's probably in my house.
We worked for Ashley. What happened to $50,000? It was massive gave down here.
We have no money for the streets.
You suggest you could like, yeah, she's flash on the right in here. And it
I was sitting right there. I was sitting.
He was carrying chairs.
Oh, I got one. I got one.
Hey, I may be old, but I can still.
Yeah, I won't let you do that here.
Yeah. And you should know.
Oh, I got a little shoe.
Hey, you want a piece of gum?
Flea market.
I don't want it. I don't know if it's 5 of that.
I got to talk with the mayor yesterday. Hopefully the editor there. So the deadline Monday morning. I'm going. So I'm hoping
My
to get some
son-in-law married
coverage, so more people know about it.
My son-in-law.
Well, there's right.
And
What we got now? Oh, no.
I put it in.
And we don't like purchase, we don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
That's where he's got some stuff.
I
Right.
you said that, so members of the services was gonna be there at 5.
I'm one of the members.
You guys are 2.5 hours early?
It's us, because we know he.
Yeah. I mean, that. Okay.
We got to get on with the business.
Right, yeah. Well, it's gonna say 7 now.
Yeah. I know
What
those.
the hell it is.
It's fine.
Right.
I'm in charge of.
Are you? Well, if I'd known that, I could have reached out to you too, because I put a little more about it, because just put my email. Right, and I also, a couple of photos you shared with
You know, we. Yeah, well, that's. Always, for years. I wonder what they.
There's a guy, I don't know where they practice on it, but there's a family, the Davis family, that practices law. I think you guys work on like a monthly basis. One day I met sort of the patriarch of the group, Charlie James. And every time he's in court, Judge Flynn says, Mr. James, see you here, see you got the lowest bar number in the room. Oh, and you remind me every time I come here. But he says, we'll let you go first.
Well, and they have to recycle.
Exactly.
Exactly. And whether, you know, whether.
Yeah, he's been there long enough, he gets it.
Yep, whether.
What kind of neighbors? Yeah, right down.
And we can't do it when we're way down.
With hard no.
That's
Whole
my,
box of
that's
paper
my
on it back.
My son-in-law,
and I'll stand by.
and it's common knowledge in the family that she does not live in that trailer.
Sounds like a lot of history. Well, I heard that they've worked unions for a long time. My group couldn't talk to me about it, so my instinct has always been that the fundamental, the only way to do it anyway is by uniting on a chapel. There's a phrase I heard, something like, together we bargain, alone we beg. Something like that. That seems about to summarize it to me. But, you know, growing up, it wasn't too long after all of the like posterity. So I was in shape. It seems like union. We have so much power in this.
They hired that police department.
They planted it, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Anything, something I heard, this last year, but they were like, and I'm pulling numbers right out of my head. It's 100 strikes, wow, it's so crazy, how many strikes?
Let's get everyone back in.
Close to somebody Chinese. I'd be interested sometime.
All right, we're right along. I don't need to go, I've been in enough police cars, I know all the stages.
All right, Councilman Dolbear, are you online?
I am.
All right, we'll go ahead and proceed. So anyway, as far as we do have a first and second vote to override the mayor's veto. I mean, I believe we discussed it full enough. I'll leave this one statement. I'm just, throughout the whole process, kind of disappointed from the first week that came to this, instead of communicating another way. That's my only issue. But it's council's pleasure. Take a roll call, please.
Mr. Tedder,
What's the motion on? I'm sorry.
To override the mayor's veto on bill 7166, the duties of the city administrator.
Mr. Tedder,
No.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Cardinal,
Yes.
Mr. Giltner,
No.
Mr. Joe,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Ringhausen.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance or bill 7166 duly passed, approved, and ordained.
All right, the next one we got coming here. We did our first reading. This is the rate structure on sewer. And the reason we only did a first reading, if I recall, was that this ordinance is written slightly different than the water rate ordinance. And so there was some confusion about whether we had everything added up properly. Kelly went back, took a look. We had done the math correctly. And so I think we're ready to proceed on.
Open the floor to entertain a motion to give second reading.
I'll make a motion for the second reading of an ordinance to amend chapter section 715.100 relating to actual use rate structure of the municipal code of the city of Louisiana, County of Pike and City.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Open the floor for discussion.
We need a shovel over there, right?
So a question was brought to me for council's consideration. Even though earlier we heard Mr. Sherman talking about transparency and so forth as far as generated revenues and stuff. Concern was expressed to me, just sharing it with the council as far as our sewer rates exceeding our water rates historically, with ever since the new rates or since the new facility was built. Anyway, I was asked if consideration would be to try to balance that. So it's not as much as or more expensive than our water rates. So how does that impact the council as far as their decision to vote on this? That's up to you all. I just wanted to share that information with you. Our sewer rates are significantly more than our water rates, and it just doesn't make sense to a lot of people.
Trying to pull up the last month.
Must have more money than most people.
This has been a sore spot with me anyway, and Mayor has taken the blunt of my anger, so to speak. But I went to him, when I read in the newspaper about a 7.5% increase on, water without any hearing, without any communication, and without any knowledge other than it was gonna pass. That's wrong. That's wrong. We have, as citizens of this community, we have a right to know why we are being asked to have an increase. We were asked to increase the Georgia Street. We were asked to increase the sewer plant and the water plant way before that. But this one just came out of the blue. I agree totally that I think the sewer is out of line with the water. It's a lot higher. And I think instead of asking for it to be increased, that we not increase it. And that we wait until we kind of get the two kind of together instead of one being overriding the other much. I probably have gone out and I went out into left field bringing this into the sewer. But we need to have better communication with the public, and we're not. We're having all this. And what have we done tonight for the city? What have we done?
Give Kelly everything.
That we need, I know I'm getting off beat, but I'm coming back to it. We need to start letting the people know they have a right. They voted for you. They voted for all of you. And I was dumb enough to get appointed.
We like you.
That. They voted for us to do city. I'm not so much interested in that. I'm really talking to this council. And I don't have to, I've been on the council, I've been on the board, I've been president of the Board of Public Works, I've been on everything but the library board in this community in the 63 years that I've been here. But I don't understand why. Whether we like each other or not is immaterial. I could care less. And I don't give a damn if you like me or not. I don't. I felt that way, when I came here in 1959, and I feel that way today. The only thing is that I've tried to do the very best that I can, and I've tried to keep in mind, have I made a mistake? Shoot, yes. I'll make them every day. But the point is that we've got to start working together instead of what we're doing. I almost compare this to Washington, D.C. and all these committee hearings and all these junk that they're wasting time on when we ought to be worried about what in the world does the citizens think. What good? We're playing a game of I got you. I got what? What in the world do you have? Can anybody answer it? Huh? No. I don't like you, so I'm going to get you. I got you. Yeah, you got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do like you.
Absolutely.
But yet, I've sat here and fumbled with papers tonight until I'm blue in the face, and I've read almost all of them, but trying to find them after I read them was something else. I got a whole folder full of emails or whatever you call these things. I'm not on the computer, so anybody that has to talk to me, they have to talk face to face so I understand what they're saying. We've got to work together. We've just got to pull ourselves together. And is any one person at fault? You're at fault, you're at fault, you're at fault, you are, I am, and you are, and God help you, you are.
Thank you.
We've got to sit down. The city is still alive. But it's not going to be if all we're going to do is play the game, I got you. That isn't it. That isn't going to get anything. I'm too darn old and been through too much to know that isn't going to fly. It's going to bite you in the fanny before it's over. Now, whether you like the mayor or not is immaterial. His buns hadn't even gotten a seat for him yet, and yet we're just fighting like cats and dogs. For what? You want his seat? Run for it.
Thank you.
Amen, Mr. Gilmore.
Cover.
You want these, Steve? Run for it.
That's right.
I'm not asking for comments from them, please, please don't. I'm talking to us. And I'm asking that we sit as adults and that we work for the good of this community. Will we have disputes? Sure we will. But let's have them in a civil way instead of, I got you. Let's do it right. And that's the end of my sermon for the night.
Well, as far as the sewer and the water being different, the only person really that's gonna be able to break that down for any of us is Kelly.
Yeah.
Where he take off to.
So
The last time he passed it on to Dave.
what's that, Rodney?
Well, and of course Kelly's back and he can explain a little bit better than me, but the sewer and the water rates are by state statute constructed to obviously cover our operating expenses and debt service and put a certain percentage back for, future hiccups. So we don't get at the end of the life of one of our facilities or have a major malfunction and be sitting with no reserves from which to draw. So, I mean, the water and the sewer would most likely be different simply because of the different operating expenses, repairs, different points in the life of the plant that they are and how much debt service has been paid or not paid. So the two rates would definitely be different just because the calculations are based, on the overall sewer collection and treatment system and the overall water treatment and distribution system. So I wouldn't expect them to be identical, but as it pertains to this ordinance and setting our rates, and as I've mentioned before, unfortunately, as we have lost users, the amount of pipe in the ground, the amount of sewer line in the ground, and all of that infrastructure is still there, and the cost to maintain it is still it still exists. And of course, right now, in the climate that we're in, the cost of everything has gone up, and we are required to not go in the hole in operating our utilities. So, I mean, that's why we are where we're at, with the rates.
I didn't, the purpose, it can't be done overnight, but it's something that can be worked on over the time period to try to get them closer together. You can't drop something like that and not throw us in the debt. I understand that, but it's something we can work on and we should be working on.
Inflation is 8.5% and the rate is 7.5%. So what's the answer? We can't charge more than what it costs to produce it. That's what Rodney said. You got the Hancock Amendment, got your hands tied. We can only charge as much as it takes to produce the product.
Well, let's sit down and try to work it out then, see if we can find something. See if we can find out how to cut some of the costs, some of the things to make it work. If it can't be, then by golly, then we can tell John Q. Public out there why it can't be.
With that being said, I mean, the inflation rate and then the rates of the increase, well, take a look at what our senior citizens cost of living adjustment was. It's 5.9%. So they're going in the hole. So just consider it all.
But you don't want the city paying for people's water.
That's why it takes.
If we're producing we can only charge what it costs to produce the water.
I understand.
I've said this over and over and over,
I understand.
and we can't charge any less, except
But we
we
can-
have been.
Okay. So the status quo stays the same, and we don't look at it or we don't try to change. Or maybe there is change there, how do we know? I'm going in, we're having a meeting on that.
So we do have a first and a second on, and for the approval of this passage. There, because here's the thing, guys, I'm willing to, I mean, I shouldn't say willing. I mean, to buy some time for the council, I'll place a veto on it. Give us 30 days, or when you table it and bring it back in 30 days. And between now and then, maybe we can find some answers to Councilman Giltner's questions.
How are we going to manage to lower our costs on the wastewater in 30 days?
So that may not even be the solution we're looking for, but we are looking for answers as far as why we can't. So it goes both ways. Either we find solutions to the question, or we find answers to the questions. And something more definitive that kind of falls back to Mr. Sherman's transparency on communicating with the public as far as here's the proposed generated revenues, and this is where it's going. Just to put across the board, this is just the way it is, and this is what it costs. People have questions. I'm throwing it out there.
You know,
I just,
I understand. No, that is, you can't do that, you know that.
Yeah.
That, the purpose of it is, let's look at it, it may not be, but during the recession that we're in now, and they probably, are you watching your pennies? Are you watching how you pay your bill? Are you watching how much income you have to compensate for it? That's what I'm saying in this, you may not be able to, we may not be able to, but let's take a look at it.
So this, I'm gonna call the questions after this statement here. We didn't hold our public hearing back in February as we're supposed to by statute or by ordinance. Am I incorrect with that statement?
You know which ordinance it is?
It'd be under 715. Mr. Sherman pointed out to me, my memory is we're gone.
I think it's 7:05, right, Kelly?
I don't recall the numbers.
So my point
7:05,
is,
390, but Mayor, it just, as far as I read that, it says that there has to be a mandatory review. I don't read that to say that it has to be a public hearing.
well, it wouldn't be in closed session.
What? I'm sorry?
I said it wouldn't be in closed session, so it would be open to the public. All right, the question's called. Take the roll, please.
Mr. Sudar.
No.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Ardeno. No. Mr. Giltner,
No.
Mr. Pajot,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
No.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Ringhausen.
Yes. But I only do that just to be able to take a look at it.
How many
I think
yeas,
it's
how
gotta
many
be what
nays?
it's gotta be, but just to take a look at it.
Four.
I know that people probably try everything you could.
Motion fails. We'll start over with it. Okay.
Take a look, we'll bring it back.
Did you break the tie, Mayor?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I said
sorry.
motion fails, or the, yeah.
What happened?
Okay, next item on the agenda.
Yeah, it's going to sing. I think that's the next one in my car. The next one. Okay, yeah.
I would entertain the motion to table this.
Yeah. That's fine with me. I'll make a motion to table this. Table 7170.
7173.
We haven't given it any reading, any consideration.
Yeah. And also, this one was requested by Josh. I don't know if anybody else wants to.
I mean, I like to work with the ordinance committee with that.
Bring it back to ordinance committee.
We got a first. Is there a second?
To table it?
The table it, second by Councilman Sodar. Any discussion on tabling the ordinance pertaining to ordinance readings for a second? No discussion. All those in favor to table, say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Thank you, Councilman Builder. Sorry, I'm getting a little.
We might make it to 9 now.
Next item on the agenda.
What's next?
Next is the budget meeting. And I don't know. Got the emails and things.
Yes.
And I can kind of lead the discussion on this before you look for the overriding veto option. I sent out a letter, an email to all the council members explaining my position on this. I will not go over that unless the council has any questions in regards to my reasoning for vetoing the line item. But along with vetoing the line item, I provided the council with a solution. And Lindy provided language. If we, because right now the budget has passed, except for the specific line item for the police department expenditures. The new language addresses the concerns that I had through Exhibit A. There are some things that we may have to fill in to modify, but so it's the council's pleasure. I'll move forward to the council.
Let me clarify, the objection was that it's like it's a larger raise than the officer.
That wasn't the only objection, but that's,
Trying to find.
so there, I'll explain to the council. So when we pass a budget, first and second reading of a single night, even though we had a work study session, and during that work study session, I did not bring up concern about the chief's salary, but I did bring up concern that I had discussions with the chief about the housing allowance that the officers receive, $85 a month. So the proposed during the work study session was eliminating the housing allowance and going to a base rate increase of 50 cents to bring up the starting wage. We're trying to retain and also recruit. The other concern was the holiday pay. Right now, officers receive $65 per holiday. There's 12, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, 12 or 13. And whether or not they work the holiday or not, they receive the $65. And there's some concerns that the officers may not be, well, there are concerns that officers, whether they work it or not, it's not even the allowance, it's not even their wage for 8 hours. Whereas a city employee, normal city employee, they're all for 8 hours and they get their full 8 hours of pay. Whereas the officer is not even, they may work a 12-hour shift or longer, and they're only getting $65. So in the ordinance, I proposed adjusting that holiday pay to $90, increased it by $25 to raise it. And then the other thing was adjusting the chief's salary to be more in line with other department heads within the city. Is why I did that. So that'd be somewhat of a savings there, not much, but it may offset it a little bit. Considering loggers and considering overtime, considering taxes, that's what Kelly has drafted up here in the original budget and the proposed one to make that adjustment. So,
Both exhibit A and substitute exhibit A, those both include a change to the holiday pay and to the base salary, moving the housing allowance into the base pay, right?
right,
And so the only difference between exhibit A and substitute exhibit A then is what the change is gonna be in the chief's salary. Right? Is that correctly stated? To anybody else?
Kelly or Charity or Kelly.
Should be, yes.
So I'll give you examples just briefly. The department head with the water department, street department is getting roughly a 2.75% increase. Kelly's roughly getting a 2.75% increase. The police chief was looking at getting a 6% increase. So I wanted to bring it down to 3% to be in line with the other department heads and use the offset of that raise to help compensate to a degree the housing allowance and the holiday pay. And looking at the officers within the department prior, they were looking at, I don't have my sheet in front of me, but they were looking at anywhere from 23 to 5% raise. There may be some one-offs there, but I don't have my paperwork in front of me, so I can't.
Can you talk louder for the people in the back, please?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
All right. So anyway, that's my reasoning for the line item veto, but I didn't come with you without a solution. Lindy drafted the ordinance and you have two different exhibits you can go by.
I might have missed the officers on housing, that's been incorporated into their full-time pay and taken off this line item.
Yes, yes. And what started that whole inquiry on my part is couldn't find any documentation by minutes or ordinance or resolution or policy. We only generally know that we started doing the housing allowance. We just don't have no paperwork showing how we got there. And the big thing, I believe, the intent, as my email stated, is it's gonna be for the benefit of the city and the community to increase our base wages, doing an ancillary review of wages in our region. Louisiana is the lowest paid in the area. This is not going to bring us to it might bring us to midpoint maybe, but it won't bring us to the top end of the scale. And I think regardless of positions, our department and our city deserves to compensate our officers accordingly.
So I was gonna ask on that. It said that we'd all discussed everything was low, and we needed to bring it up. So when I read this, if the chief's full raise is used, the department raise is 5.7, but if the partial raise, it's only 388. Wouldn't it be better for the department to do the full? To bring our officers up across the department? Isn't that how I read that? So
Well, that you're averaging everyone's raise. That's correct. You're averaging everyone's raise. It's not, if you would have to look at it on the percentages, you'd have to look at it individually, to make a comparison.
But it would give everybody, instead of a 388, it would bring the department up 5.7 for what they're making. It would give them that instead of less.
No, that means that's more that we're paying out. The officers won't change. I mean, we're go with the chief's raise or without the chief's raise, we're given a 50-cent allowance for the housing allowance regardless. And we're also doing the $90 holiday pay regardless. The only difference between the two is the chief's raise. So on average, if you want to look at it on average, you take a look, on average, everyone on the left is 5.7 with the chief's increase. On average, without the chief's increase, it's 3.88 on average.
Full raise, partial raise.
Yes, partially, yeah. Yeah, I misstated that, thank you.
So the
Because
full
we're
and
not,
partial is only the mayor.
These are the chiefs.
Yeah, only the chiefs, the full and partial only refers to. the general.
Right.
The full is what was proposed in the original budget, the partial.
Don, you and the chief sat down and worked this out.
yeah, and he, Chief's here, if he's here, he can voice his opinion on this, I don't, but we kind of agreed that this was a solution for the department. Now, there's only one, what the chief's here, so if anyone's got any questions for the chief.
You and the mayor sat down and worked on your department as far as salaries and so forth.
Well, myself and Mr. Henderson sit down and did the original budget. Mayor, after we found out that it was line item veto, I told him I didn't want to stop any of the cops from getting raised. And if it's problem with my raise, I'd give up my raise because I don't want the cops to suffer.
So part of my solution is not forgoing your raise totally, it's just reducing.
I just didn't want the cops to suffer more like they had last month, so.
Yeah, and part of the solution too, I believe Lindsay spelled it out, that we would do a one-time temporary increase for July that would take care of what they lost over the last month.
That was the only thing I just.
So that's under section 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, that's the 7.77.
That would be correct.
Okay.
That's right. And then it would go back to the 320. Overall.
Well, it's a chief salary, percentage wise, is it in line with,
Yeah, so
with the rest of it?
so
I don't know, I just said.
my proposed,
But you still,
That, I just didn't want the cops to suffer for
he
it.
still has a raise, right?
yeah, so instead of 6%, it would be 3%.
Okay, and the other raise was 2 point something.
Well, for the other department heads, city administrator was 2.75, and the water department, street department head was 2.75 roughly, yes.
But in the police department, did you say the average was like 5.7?
For the officers, I'm gonna refer that to Kelly and the chief.
That's if you include the chief's salary, 5.7. It's a little lower if you're going to include the chief's salary rate.
Which is the 388 probably.
No, well, on the partial over here is 388. The partial rate is included in that.
Gotcha.
The full raise is 5.7, so it's included in both of these top percentage numbers.
So either way, the percentages go up.
And
So no matter how you look at it, the percentages are increased across the board.
Hell, you got a Gmail, huh?
well, it should have
No
been.
wonder I didn't have that.
Well, it looks like we're only talking about a difference of $22. Is what it looks like. So neither here nor there, I mean.
No.
Are we about done with this?
We're still in old business.
So is it like it's gonna be another 5 or 10 minutes?
No, no. So, it's the council's pleasure. You can, make a motion to override the veto, go back to the original budget, don't do changes to the housing allowance, don't do changes to the holiday pay. Leave the pay increases as stated, they just lose 30 days from what they lost, or make a motion for reading bill number 7174.
Thank you all.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve bill 7174 first reading.
Second.
Second. I'll read it. It is bill 7174, an ordinance supplementing ordinance number 08-2022, appropriating money to the police department and authorizing a temporary pay increase for employees of that department. Any discussion?
Was that Giltner and Bill?
Yes.
No, Bob. Ringo
Ringo?
and Gilbert.
Sorry.
Can I speak louder again?
Okay.
On the back.
We'll try it.
Giltner and Ringo, them.
Could we get the chief's opinion on the other two, the officer housing? I know we asked a little about salary, but.
It's,
I originally brought them, both of my ideas to the mayor, advised him that housing allowance are some thing of the past in law enforcement because of response time and vehicles. So we worked it out to where roughly that $85 housing allowance would be 50 cents. And then I also broke down the holiday pay for the officers. If you look at it and you base it on the traditional 8 per day at $65, they're making less than minimum wage working a holiday. The discussion was made that, well, they're still getting paid for work. And I said, well, I'd rather give every cop a holiday off, you know,
Well,
and then flex it over. But that's $65. And I mean, it isn't in comparison to what everybody else gets when they get regular salaries. So we sort of compromised that and then came up with that. And I think it is fair to the officers.
Okay.
Any other questions, discussions? We do have a first and second. Hearing none, will you take the roll, please?
One more, the motion included which, the original, the exhibit A, or the substitute exhibit A?
No, what's actually written, what's written is the, with the chief's partial raise, because it says 7.77%.
Well, the 7.77, those the temporary increase.
Oh, yes. Which exhibit? Yeah, let's clarify that.
Exhibit A is the one that's. attached.
Exhibit A, Mayor, if I may, Exhibit A that's attached to the ordinance is including all of your requested changes. So the change to the chief's salary, and the holiday pay and the housing allowance. Substitute Exhibit A, the only change is that it keeps the chief's salary as it was previously stated. The other two changes are also included in Substitute Exhibit A.
Any other questions, discussion? Go ahead and take the roll.
Centers,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
No.
Ms. Ardeno,
no,
Mr. Giltner,
Yes.
Mr. Peugeot,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Gobert,
Yes.
Mr. Ringhouse.
Yes.
All right. Bill number 7174, first reading. Entertain a motion to have a second reading. An ordinance supplementing ordinance number 08-2022, appropriating money to the police department and authorizing a temporary pay increase for employees of that department. So we got a first and second, Mr. Giltner and Mr. Peugeot. Any discussion? Hearing none, take the roll, please.
Center,
Yes.
no,
Okay.
I've lost a little audio. Have you gotten to me?
Not yet.
No, we're still working on me.
Oh, okay,
No.
sorry.
Just say no, it makes it easier.
Ardeno, no, Mr. Giltner,
Yes.
Mr. Peugeot,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Gobert,
Yes.
Ringhouse.
Yes.
All right, bill number 7174 is duly approved and adopted and ordained. All right, new business. Open as far as new business, what's that? We go back to,
Only 71,
oh, we did it anyway, didn't we?
We
Okay.
did in order anyway.
Yeah, we did it in order. All right, open the floor for miscellaneous business, including comments from the public on any matter pertinent to city business.
Well, now.
Any comments from the public?
Yes, but I don't want my name on nothing here.
We already know who you are.
That's right, so you will have to put it on. So. If we're gonna have a chief of the police, he needs to wear his uniform, presentable. I think it's disgusting that he was accusing hope. I seen him in an alley, I'd run. Just because I don't know he's the chief of police. I think he are to represent him wear the uniform. Okay? Little Missy here, Tiffany. We still do not live in Ward 2. We still live on this side of town. Isn't that fraudulent to collect money if you're not in that ward? Has to be. Has to be, yes, because you say no? Is that why?
Hey, we're not interacting in that way, but I hear your question and we are working on answering the questions that you have.
Okay,
So that question's in the works and there's opinions everywhere and everyone got one like some other things, so.
I'm just saying, if I were to call the prosecutor to ask him if it was fraudulent or not, what would he tell me?
Oh, yes.
I will, sweetheart. And you,
We're not, don't interact.
okay, and we need to move the 20-mile-an-hour sign back down Georgia Street. I followed Miss Evans down Georgia Street. I went 20, but she was going faster. And that was Friday.
Right. So that,
That voice is my opinion.
thank you.
Oh. Yeah. State your name,
My
sir.
name is Steve Henry. The water bill, I was at the council meeting, they sent letters out to everybody, want to know if they wanted to recycle. Only 30 people sent letters back saying they wanted to recycle. The city went ahead and approved it. Everybody in this city is paying for 30 people to recycle. It's on your water bill. Now, why do we gotta pay for everybody in town to recycle when only a handful of people are doing it? And also, Councilman in Ward 2, Tiffany Ardeno, was not living in the ward when she run for the seat. My son-in-law is married to her brother-in-law, and it's not common knowledge in the family. I hate to admit that. It's common knowledge in the family. She hasn't lived there for over a year and a half, at least a year. So how could she run for council when she wasn't living in the ward?
That's a good question.
I mean, that is a good question. She was not living in the ward. I mean, it's common knowledge that she was not living in the ward. And also, can I do ride-alongs in the police car? I've rode in a lot of police cars. I mean, I don't need to take no class. Can I do ride-alongs every night and go out to eat and stuff like other people do on the council? I'm just asking, do I have to take, I mean, are they going to deny certain people ride-alongs if they've had a felony arrest or something like that?
Yes.
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 In other words, I'm gonna have to just keep riding around the police car like I always have.
If you have a felony, yes.
But about the recycling, it's not fair for everybody in town to pay for a small handful of people. I was at the council meeting, only 30 people sent letters back wanting to recycle. And Nick's mother was on the council at the time, and they went ahead and passed it where everybody in town's got to pay for a handful of, on your water bill. It's
Yeah,
25% charge on your water bill.
Was it the additional
Now,
charge,
if you're gonna-
$25?
Now, if you're gonna cut down the water bill, can't you start with something why do we need recycling for a handful of people? That's a good question. Why does everybody in town have to pay for a handful of people to recycle some plastic and stuff? They said, well, we took the dumpster away and they just started dumping the trash in the parking lot. That's what the police department is for. If they're
Oh,
dumping
they
the
don't worry
trash in the
about that.
parking lot, give them a ticket for it. But why should everybody in town have to pay for recycling for a handful of people?
Thank you for bringing that up. I'll put that on my list.
Oh, so you just say stuff, but nothing just says back to you?
You don't
Oh,
get
hold
it.
on, we got to.
Oh, here, wait.
Don't give it. Give it, Mr.
Oh,
Baker.
don't fight about it.
I've got a couple things I'm kind of disappointed in. First, I came down here to hear the police department report and a canine report. We've spent a lot of money as citizens of the city. We've spent a lot of money on this canine. I'd like to hear how it's going. And about the police department. And I guess second off is something that I want to just share with the council. I really appreciate what Mr. Giltner said. And just, there's a lot of underlying things that are reasons for wanting ordinance changes. And everybody needs to open up, everybody that's on this council needs to open up their eyes to that and pay attention to that. Trying to take away any kind of oversight of any kind on different city employees is not good. Everybody should have oversight, in any position. Mayor included, he should have oversight. Everybody should, city administrator, police chief, everybody. And expanding upon that power and taking away the power of those that are trying to oversee that is not a good thing. And it just baffles me that we turn a blind eye to all that in this town. And I think that needs to change. Mr. Giltner is right. Everybody needs to learn to work together. But in fighting each other, we're ignoring the bigger picture. The citizens elected him because they want to change. They want that change from all of you too. That's all I've got.
Back to you.
Mike Sherman, 11 North A. Public statement. If you look at the current situation with the council in general, you'll see that social engineering is a significant factor in their politics. Social engineering can be many forms, but all has one underlying goal: to manipulate people into believing what the politician, or in this case, city government, wants them to think. Social engineering can be the use of sociological principles, psychology, and human vulnerability to manipulate people. The term social engineering refers to the actions and methods used by a person or group of people to influence the behavior of others through manipulation, deception, or coercion. When it comes to politics, the primary reason for politicians to use social engineering is to use words to change the public perception, and in some cases, the reality of the situation. It is used to get themselves elected and is often used as a tactic to get reelected. Often misinformation and fake news are used to manipulate public opinion into the desired outcome, one that benefits the elected official. Often referred to as rhetoric and propaganda. To protect yourself, a person must make attempts to understand all the details of the topic and make the best decision. In conclusion, an educated, informed citizenry will see through these tactics. If you want a safer, more productive society, then vote for candidates who fight against these manipulative tactics and want transparency. If you don't end them, our democracy will be lost.
Okay, my name is Brenda. And I keep saying over and over again, because y'all saying the water's gonna go up. We're gonna have to pay $15 more. I keep saying NECAC is willing to help people. So I guess we don't care about that. Huh, Nancy?
I'll answer
While you're
that directly.
smart.
So I've been in contact with
Right.
NECAC, and there's really nothing that the city needs to do
Mhm.
to participate. It's a afforded opportunity to anyone who applies for it.
Okay, so it's City Hall.
And
Yeah.
same with Ministerial Alliance.
I don't know what that means. I'm not even here. So it's just, it's already, so maybe the, like you, Nancy, because you deal with the old people a lot, maybe you could tell your peoples to sign up for it. Because they'll help pay the water bills.
If they
ECAC will.
qualify. Gotta qualify. Yeah, it's not just a freebie, it's a by need.
I know, I'm not stupid.
Okay, hey,
My next thing to say, because don't you get 5 minutes? Oh, you get 3 minutes? Oh, so who's policing the police now? That's Kelly? That's you? No, I mean, who's the police's boss?
so right now, it does fall under the mayor.
The mayor? So what are you gonna do about your policemen? One, so last Friday night, Emily was leaving town to go to Tivoli Hills. In the cop car, the new one, he done rec 3. Oh, that's beside the point. I caught one going to across the bridge at midnight, coming back at 12:52. Who deals with that? Who, do we need to like take this higher up? Or do they get a slap on the wrist like, don't do that again? When they wreck car after car and then they get a new one, like, do they get in trouble for wrecking that car? Because that was their dumb stupidity.
So we'll stop you right now, okay?
Okay.
So the question that you asked about going over to Illinois, is that the chief is a pride. And he's gonna be looking into it and get back with me what the situation was. He wasn't able to answer it without being fully aware of it, so.
And what about the one going to Friday?
That's it. Anything else you can, go ahead and bring it to the council members or myself and we'll follow up.
That's what I'm saying. It goes along the whole thing, like they keep using the cars and going out of state, going out of town. They're not taking inmates to Bowling Green. They're going to Clarksville to Tivoli Hills. They're going to across the bridge. Oh, don't do that. They're going across the bridge. They're doing not police business. That's what I'm getting at, council. Who is overcharge of making this stop? Anybody?
We'll get you. We'll get you.
I thought this was question and answer part.
It's not necessary, it's kind of the same, but you don't have to be on it don't have to be on the agenda to discuss it.
Oh, okay. So next month, y'all come back to me with the answer?
So when the police committee meets as a committee, that'll be the best time to interact with the committee.
Can I be on that committee?
It's council people only, but you can participate as a public.
Well, I'm not gonna stop because this stuff is not right.
So even though I don't live in town, can I be on a committee?
No,
It's got to be council.
Why can I not volunteer to help a council member?
Me and her do want to do that.
well, I would suggest that you attend the
What?
committee meetings.
When's the next one? Look,
It's always the second Monday of the month unless they deem, and I want the council to be aware of this.
remember that.
If any committee feels the need to devote more time to any subject on your committee outside of the committee of the whole, you're still free to post notice and have a meeting.
We want changes. We want uniform changes.
All right. Thank you.
Uniform changes.
Thank you.
I slid that one in there.
Okay, my question is to Mr. Henderson. You told me a couple of months ago that you were not over the control of the police department. You're over the control of the city, correct? Then why in the hell don't my ditch look as pretty as the Dollar General store? My ditch hasn't been mowed one time. That is the city's responsibility to keep it clean of debris and mowed. One time.
So far, right?
Yes, how many times has the Dollar General been mowed? Why? Because, why? It has to do with the road, the ditches. And why don't you want to get into this?
Because I don't know how many times ground crew's actually been there, and I don't know why, if they've only been there once, I don't know why they've only been there once. Just have to ask you about it.
It's not even being kept clean. Proper drainage. Your water comes on my property. You need to make sure it stays clean and proper drainage.
Is there debris in the?
Well, yeah, if you would get out once in a while, and look,
We maintain, hey,
Hey,
I mean, I don't mind there, the discussion and everything else, but we will maintain decorum, so try not to raise voices, not make anything personal.
I'm not
Just
making.
say, I'm just,
I'm
this ain't directed to you only, this is directed to all of us.
I mean, he's a city administrator. He needs to get out and check his city out. Just like the city councilmen need to get out and check their wards and make sure everything is properly running. And this dog pound, get it out of the city. Get the impound lot out of here, because I feel that I am getting picked on because I'm the only one that gets to see it. My neighbors on the street behind me, they have pretty white fencing. I don't have nothing. I see cats, barking dogs, and trashed up cars. Now, why is that?
All right, thank you.
Raise your eyebrows, Kelly, you don't care.
he's on
All
the
right.
phone.
Huh?
He's on the phone. He's not paying
Well, he
attention.
doesn't care.
Take a motion, consider a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of revised Missouri statute, section 610.021, section 1 and 3.
What?
Admitting the city council members, Goldbear on Zoom, and the city attorney, Lindy, and the city clerk.
Who made the motion second?
I just made the motion, so. Oh, I'm sorry. Point of order, media clarification.
Yeah, I had a question, about the public statement. What is the intention with this? Is this going to be a press release to news media, or what is the purpose of the statement?
It's the council looking for us, conclusion of investigation and answer. And matters relating to that investigation. And so if the press would like to publish it, it's fine with us. It's a public record. But it was just something that the council wanted to present. That after the last in the special meeting before that, we had voted to prepare that draft. So that's the draft that we had.
Okay,
Is that sort of answer?
well, I guess I was looking for where this is gonna be distributed in terms of availability for citizens, if it's not.
Yeah, we've got some printed out. I would like to put it, on Facebook or something. If the papers, I don't know, want to publish it. I think you had a response, Mayor, so maybe once that's ready, they can be published together. And I certainly won't say it. We don't have much more than, I suppose, Facebook, the city website to get these things out.
Okay, and was the statement a collective work amongst the council, or did one person sort of author the work?
It was collective, but I was the one authorized to write the actual.
Okay,
Yeah, approved by all of council.
okay.
All right, thank you. So motion, or consider a motion to go in closed session for the closed session for the purpose of revised Missouri statute, section 610.021, 1 and 3 and 13. Allowing the city administrator, all the council members, and myself and city clerk, and Zoom participants, Lindy and Mr. Gobert.
Wait, we're still in session.
Oh, we gotta get it.
No.
Everyone's, so anyone want to make a motion?
So moved.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I was too busy. So we have a first and a second. Take the roll.
Who's the first and who's the second?
Roddy and then Ryan.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Setter,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Ms. Ardno,
Yes.
Mr. Pilgrim,
Yeah.
Joe,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Bill Bear,
Yes.
Ringhouse.
Yes. All right, we are in closed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I have a few minutes, so I can have her?
Yeah, yeah. We'll take a brief recess, just,
No, they're good. I can slam my cup, you want to see my cup?
Nastiest.
I'm so sick and tired of being lied about.
Huh?
I'm so sick and tired of being lied about. So fucking sick and tired of it. And the shit part is I can sit here and take it. I can't respond. Defend myself. No. Bullshit.
Consider the sources.
Doesn't matter. It's fucking bullshit. We talk about transparency and working together as a team, but we can't stand up for each other.
Transparency is a funny word.
I have no breath left. I have none. Zero thoughts. But,
Yep.
yeah, they got it, right?
I just bought a t-shirt and our favorites. Just make sure everybody's on the floor.
yes.
With, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, and.
Yes.
Free.
Everyone knows a lot of them said almost. I'm not gonna hold that against
I'm not saying
you.
anymore.
I'm not gonna hold that against you.
He started. About the time.
Well, we'll shut the door. I don't think myself or Mr. Penrod was in the closed session, so,
Not yet.
Can you make sure nobody's on the floor?
yeah. So let you guys deal with police applicants.
Wait,
That's not what, that's, you don't know what's on there.
he's not supposed to.
I know. You don't know what's on there.
Oh, hell.
Happy to be.
I think I could use all this in my bathroom.
It'll be in there.
All right, can we get, all we're missing?
Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, only 2
Escaping.
Had a little